Torah portion, chapter 7, verse 12 to 11, verse 25.
And it shall be, because you hear these right rulings, and shall guard and do them, that Yahuwah your Elohim shall guard with you the covenant and the loving commitment which he swore to your fathers, and shall love you and bless you and increase you, and shall bless the fruit of your womb, and the fruit of your land, your grain, and your new wine, and your oil, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flock, in the land in which he swore to your fathers to give you. Blessed are you above all peoples. There is not going to be a barren man or a barren woman among you or among your livestock. And Yahuwah shall turn away from you all sickness, and put on you none of the evil diseases of Mizraim, which you have known. But he shall put them on all those who hate you, and you shall consume all the peoples whom Yahuwah your Elohim is delivering you over to you. Your eyes shall not pardon them, and do not serve their mighty ones, for that is a snare to you. When you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I am unable to drive them out. Do not be afraid of them. Remember well with Yahuwah your Elohim did to Pharaoh and to all Mizraim the great trials which your eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, the strong hand and the outstretched arm, by which Yahuwah your Elohim brought you out. Yahuwah your Elohim does so to all the peoples of whom you are afraid of. And Yahuwah your Elohim also sends the hornet among them, until those who are left, who hide themselves from you, are destroyed. Do not be afraid of them, for Yahuwah your Elohim, the great and awesome El, is in your midst. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall drive out those nations before you, little by little. You are not allowed to destroy them at once, lest the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. But Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver them over to you, and destroy them with a great destruction, until they are consumed. And he shall give their sovereign into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under the heavens. No one is going to be able to stand against you until you have destroyed them. The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourself, lest you be snared by it. For it is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it, utterly loathe it, and utterly hate it. For it is accursed. 8. Guard to do every command which I command you today, that you might live, and shall increase, and go in, and shall possess the land of which Yahuwah swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that Yahuwah your Elohim led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you, prove you, to know what is in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. And he humbled you, and let you suffer hunger, and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahuwah. Your garments did not wear out on you, nor did your feet swell these 40 years. Thus you shall know in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so Yahuwah your Elohim disciplines you. Therefore you shall guard the commands of Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways and to fear him. For Yahuwah your Elohim is bringing you into a good land, a land of streams, of waters, of fountains and springs that flow out of the valley and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olives, oil and honey, a land in which you eat bread without scarcity, in which you do not lack at all, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you dig copper. And you shall eat and be satisfied, and shall bless Yahuwah your Elohim for the good land which he has given you. Be on guard lest you forget Yahuwah your Elohim by not guarding his commands and his right rulings and his laws which I command you today, lest you eat and shall be satisfied, and build lovely houses and shall dwell in them, and your herds and your flocks increase, and your silver and your gold are increased, and all that you have is increased, that your heart then becomes lifted up, and you forget Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage, who led you through the great and awesome wilderness, fiery serpents and scorpions and thirst, where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who led you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, in order to humble you and to try you, to do you good in the end. You then shall say in your heart, my power and the strength of my hand have made for me this wealth. But you shall remember Yahuwah your Elohim, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, in order to establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as it is today. And it shall be, if you by any means forget Yahuwah your Elohim, and follow other mighty ones, and serve them, and bow yourself to them, I have warned you this day that you shall certainly perish, like the nations which Yahuwah is destroying you before you. So you are to perish, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. Hear, O Israel, you are passing over the Jordan today. Number 9. Hear, O Israel, you are passing over the Jordan today to go into disposed nations, greater and stronger than yourselves, cities great and walled up to the heavens, a people great and tall, the descendants of the Anakim, whom you know, and of whom you heard it said, who does stand before the descendants of Anak. And you shall know today that Yahuwah your Elohim is who is passing over before you as a consuming fire. He does destroy them and subdue them before you. So you shall dispose them and destroy them quickly, as Yahuwah has said to you. Do not think in your heart after Yahuwah your Elohim has driven them out before you, saying, because of my righteousness, Yahuwah has brought me in to possess this land. But it is because of the wrong of these nations, and that Yahuwah is driving them out from before you. It is not because of your righteousness or the uprightness of your heart that you go in to possess their land, but because of the wrong of the nations that Yahuwah your Elohim drives them out from before you, in order to establish the word which Yahuwah swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yishak, and to Jacob, and you shall know that Yahuwah your Elohim is not giving you this good land to possess because of your righteousness, for you are a stiff-necked people. Remember, do not forget how you provoked to wrath Yahuwah your Elohim in the wilderness from the day that you came out of the land of Mizraim until you came to this place. You have been rebellious against Yahuwah. Even in Horeb you made Yahuwah wroth, so that Yahuwah was enraged with you to destroy you. When I went up into the mountains to receive the tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant which Yahuwah made with you, then I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. I did not eat bread nor drink water. Then Yahuwah gave me the 2 tablets of stone written with the finger of Elohim, and on them were all the words which Yahuwah has spoken to you on the mountain from the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And it came to be at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that Yahuwah gave me the 2 tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant. Then Yahuwah said to me, arise, go down quickly from here, for your people whom you brought out of Mizraim have acted corruptly. They have quickly turned aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molded image. And Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, I have seen these people, and look, they are stiff-necked people. Leave me alone, so that I destroy them, and blot out their name from under the heavens, and make of you a nation stronger and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked and saw that you had sinned against Yahuwah your Elohim, and had made for yourself a malted calf. You had quickly turned aside from the way which Yahuwah had commanded you. And I took the 2 tablets and threw them out of my hands and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before Yahuwah as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did not eat bread and I did not drink water because of all your sins which you committed in doing evil in the eyes of Yahuwah to provoke him. For I was afraid of the displeasure and rage with which Yahuwah was wroth with you to destroy you. But Yahuwah listened to me that time once more. And Yahuwah was very enraged with Aharon to destroy him. So I prayed for Aharon at that time also. And I took your sins, the calf which you have made, and burned it with fire, and crushed it, and ground it very small until it was as fine as dust. And I threw its dust into the stream that came down from the mountain. And at Tabareb, and at Massa, and at Kaborth Hata Awa, you made Yahuwah wroth. And when Yahuwah sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebel against the mouth of Yahuwah your Elohim, and you neither trust him nor listen to his voice. You have been rebellious against Yahuwah from the day that I knew you. So I fell down before Yahuwah the 40 days and 40 nights, for I fell down because Yahuwah had said he would destroy you. And I prayed Yahuwah and said, oh, Master Yahuwah, do not destroy your people and your inheritance, whom you have ransomed in your greatness, whom you have brought out of Mizraim with a strong hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Yishak, and Jacob. Do not look on the stubbornness of these people, or on their wrong, or on their sin, lest the land from which you brought us should say, because Yahuwah was not able to bring them out to the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to kill them in the wilderness. And they are your people, and your inheritance, whom you brought out by your great power and by your outstretched arm. Verse 10, at that time Yahuwah said to me, hew for yourselves 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mountain, and you shall make yourself an ark of wood. Then I write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood, hewed 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up to the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. And he wrote on the tablets according to the first writing, the 10 words which Yahuwah has spoken to you in the mountain, from the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. Then Yahuwah gave them to me, and I turned and came down from the mountain and put the tablets in the ark which I made, and they are there. as Yahuwah commanded me. Now the children of Israel set out from the wells of Bernaat Yaquin to Mosarah. Haran died there, and he was buried there. And Eleazar his son became priest in his place. From there they set out to Gagoda, and from Gagoda to Yatbathath, a land of rivers of water. At that time, Yahuwah separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah, to stand before Yahuwah, to serve him, and to bless in his name. To this day, therefore, Levi has no portion nor inheritance with his brother. Yahuwah is his inheritance, as Yahuwah your Elohim promised. And I stayed in the mountains for 40 days and 40 nights, and Yahuwah heard me at that time also. And Yahuwah chose not to destroy you. And Yahuwah said to me, arise, go before the people to set out, and let them go in and possess the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. And now, Yisrael, what is Yahuwah your Elohim asking of you, but to fear Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, to guard the commands of Yahuwah and his laws which I commanded you today for your good. See see the heaven and the heaven of heavens belong to Yahuwah your Elohim, also the earth with all that is in it. Yahuwah delighted only in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, and you above all people, as it is today. And you shall circumcise the foreskin of your heart, and harden your neck no more. For Yahuwah your Elohim is your Elohim of mighty ones, and master of masters, the great El, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality nor takes a bribe. He executes right rulings for the fatherless and the widow, and loves the stranger, giving him food and a garment. And you shall love the stranger, for you are strangers in the land of Mizraim. Fear Yahuwah your Elohim, serve him, and cling to him, and swear by his name. He is your praise, and he is your Elohim, who has done for you these great and awesome deeds, which your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down to Mizraim with 70 beings, and now Yahuwah your Elohim has made you as numerous as the stars of the heavens. Verse 11, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim, and guard his charge, even his laws, and his right rulings, and his commands, always. And you shall know today, for it is not your children who have not known and who have not seen the discipline of Yahuwah your Elohim, his greatness, his strong hand, and his outstretched arm, and his signs, and his works which he has done in the midst of Mizraim, to Pharaoh, sovereign of Mizraim, and to all his land, and that which he has done to the army of Mizraim, to their horses and their chariots, when I made the waters of the sea of the reeds overflow them as they pursued you, and how Yahuwah has destroyed them to this day, and what he has done for you in the wilderness till you came to this place, and what he has done to Dathan and to Abiram, the sons of Eliab, son of Reuben, when the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all their living creatures, and were in their possessions in the midst of all of Israel. For your are the eyes that saw all great works of Yahuwah which he did, and you shall guard every command which I command you today, so that you are strong, and shall go in, and shall possess the land which you are passing over to possess, and to prolong your days in the land which Yahuwah swore to give your fathers to them and their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land which you are going in to possess it, not like the land of Mizraim, from which you have come, where you swore your seed and watered it by foot as a vegetable garden. But the land which you are passing over to possess is a land of hills and valleys, which drinks water from the rain of the heavens, a land which Yahuwah your Elohim looks after. The eyes of Yahuwah your Elohim are always on it, from the beginning of the year to the latter end of the year. And it shall be that if you diligently obey my commands, which I command you today, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, and to serve him with all of your heart and with all of your being, then I shall give you the rain for your land in its season, the early rain and the latter rain, and you shall gather in your grain and your new wine and your oil, and I shall give grass in your fields for your livestock, and you shall eat and be satisfied. Guard yourselves, lest your heart be deceived, and turn aside, and serve other mighty ones, and bow down to them. Then the displeasure of Yahuwah shall burn against you, and he shall shut up the heavens, and there will be no rain, and the land does not give its increase, and you shall perish quickly from the good land which Yahuwah is giving you. And you shall lay up these words of mine in your heart and in your being, and shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall teach them to your children, speaking to them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that your days and your days of your children are increased on the soil of which Yahuwah swore to your fathers to give them, as the days of the heavens on the earth. For if you diligently guard all these commands which I command you to do it, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to cling to him, then Yahuwah shall drive out all these nations before you, and you shall dispossess greater and stronger nations than you. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads in yours, from the wilderness in Laban, from the river Euphrates, even to the western sea is your border. No man shall stand against you. Yahuwah your Elohim shall put the dread of you and the fear of you upon all the land where you tread, as he has spoken to you. See, I am setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing when you obey the command of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you today, and the curse if you do not obey the commands of Yahuwah your Elohim, but turn aside from the way which I command you today, to go after other mighty ones which you have not known. And it shall be, when Yahuwah your Elohim has brought you into the land which you go to possess, that you shall put the blessings on Mount Gerizim and the curse on Mount Ebal. Are they not beyond the Jordan towards the setting sun in the land of the Canaanites who dwell in the desert plain opposite of Gilgal, besides the terebinth tree of Moreh? For you are passing over the Jordan to go in to possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you, and you shall possess it and dwell in it, and shall guard to do all the laws and right rulings which I am setting before you today.